This video um, will demonstrate how to conduct the analysis for the which textbook data used for our statistics review assignment. In this assignment, what we are going to do is use a common t-test to review concepts like type 1 and type 2 error, variances, means, standard deviations, and other basic statistical concepts learned in your first educational statistics course. So the idea behind this activity is that a school district is examining their textbooks and they want to investigate to determine if a sixth grade class taught with an inquiry-based science textbook would perform better than sixth grade students who use the traditional textbook. So what we have for our variables are, and I'm going to just switch over to SPSS, is that we have the textbook grouping variable, and so that puts students 1 into the no inquiry textbook versus students who are into group 2 using the inquiry textbook. And then we have their scores from the state test. And these are science scores, so they're content level scores that will be compared. So in order to do the analysis, we go to Analyze, Compare Means, and then Independent Samples t-test. And in this case, our grouping variable is textbook because we have students in textbook 1, which is the traditional, versus textbook 2, which is the inquiry-based. And so what we have to do is, in the t-test, we have to give those groups numbers. And then our score is in the test variable group. And then we go OK, and we get our results. So you can see that for the inquiry-based textbook, those students, on average, earned a mean of a little over 69 points on the test. For the traditional science textbook, those students earned a mean of a little over 60. And moving down onto the report, we can see that, expand this out, that the Levine's test of equality for homogeneity of variances was not significant because it's above 0.05. And so what we say is that the variances, or the variability, and of course standard deviations are the square root of the variances, are similar. You know, they're not different enough to say that we have violated the assumption of homogeneity of variances. Our calculated t-ratio is 1.2, and at 28 degrees of freedom, we see that the significance is above, or the probability of making a type 1 error, the significance is above 0.05. And now this is for a two-tailed test. Even if we were looking at a one-tailed test, where we would say up front that the students in the inquiry-based science textbook would perform significantly better than those in the using the traditional textbook. It's still significant. We would divide this by 2, and our probability would be 0.12. So this mean difference of 8.4 average points between the inquiry-based science textbook students and the traditional students is not significant, and we can say that this difference is likely due to sampling error. So these are results. We'll use these now to discuss the key concepts as a review for our next class.